guys, I want to share a little secret with you. Just a little secret. So I get the question a lot on Tumblr, actually, a lot. People ask me, do you ever go to shows by yourself? How do you go to concerts by yourself? Like, how do you go alone? How do you go to shows alone? I go all the time. I go to shows by myself all the time. There's not been a decision in my life that's been better for my personal life and my personal well-being than when I started going to shows by myself. And I've been going to shows for a long time. Like, my first show, like I'd been to concerts before, like at concert halls with friends and things, like at theaters. But my first like club show was We Are Scientists back in 2008. And I went with my sister, and then after that, probably the next fall was when I started shooting shows. And for the most part, for the first 2 years, I didn't go with anybody. Like, I didn't take my sister, I didn't take any friends because none of my friends really wanted to go. I mean, I met people there, but for the first 2 years, I was really introverted. I didn't talk to a lot of people. It took me about 5 months to actually start talking to the photographers who were there because I didn't really feel like I was like worthy of their presence and everything. And then the next 2 years I spent going to shows with my ex-boyfriend, which was great because like I discovered so many great musicians and so many great bands because he wanted to go to these shows. The problem was I had that safety net. I had somebody that I was going with all the time. So I didn't have to talk to anybody else. But I can't tell you, over the last year, I go to shows by myself all the time. Most of the concerts I see, I don't drive with anybody else. I don't go in with anybody else. But because of that, I've been forced to step out of my comfort zone. I have been forced to talk to people and forced to meet people and have genuine conversations with people who I see at concerts a lot, or just people who I'm standing with. I think the main thing that people always wonder is like, how do you go to shows by yourself? Like, do you feel awkward? Do you feel like a loser? Do you feel like you're not, like, do you just feel out of place? Going to a show by yourself is not the same thing as going to like a party by yourself. If you're going to a party by yourself, you're gonna feel fucking awkward and stupid. But if you're going to a show by yourself, don't think of it like you're going by yourself. Think of it like you're going with a bunch of other people that you haven't met yet, you know? Because when you're at a party with a bunch of other people that you don't know, it's awkward. But when you're going to a show by yourself, you already have something in common with everyone there. Is that you're all there for hopefully the same reason, because you like that band or that musician. So you already have something in common. So that makes things so much easier to start conversations with people. And granted, over the last few months, I've gotten a lot better at talking to people because I've been drinking a little bit more. I'm not saying that you have to do that, but I'm saying if you're over the age and you make safe choices, have a glass of whiskey if you have a hard time actually starting up conversations with people. Get a little liquid courage. Get a little liquid courage. I'm telling you, liquid courage is not a bad thing. Overindulging on liquid courage, that's when it gets a little bad. The best decision I ever made was going to shows by myself. If you're just an awkward person, like if you don't have like genuine like social anxiety where you get panic attacks in like large groups of people, that's a whole different situation. If you're just an awkward person that doesn't really know how to start conversations with people, go to shit by yourself. Because it forces you to do that. Because you meet so many great people. And I've met so many great people in the last year because I've had nobody to go with most of the time. My secret, I guess. I'm sharing my secret with you. Go to shows by yourself. It gets to the point where you're going to things by yourself and then you end up at like one of the biggest like clubs in Seattle and you know every person playing. Like I went to a show last night where I knew every person on the bill at the Showbox. What? I've been to shows where I knew everybody playing, but they were at like coffee shops and like smaller things. But this is like the Showbox where like Lady Gaga played it like 7 years ago. Otis Redding played at the Showbox. Like this is the fucking Showbox. And like I knew every person on the lineup and I'm like, oh, this is surreal. Tangent. Anyway, today's song of the day is Dhaaf's Same Indifference. They actually just had a video put up on the Wild Honey Pie the other day. I really, really love that blog. It's definitely one of my favorite tracks off The Sun Will Burn. The Sun Will Burn? Even The Sun... The Sun Will... the album that Iska Dhaaf put out recently. It's fantastic. Check it out. Check out the whole Iska Dhaaf album. I will put a link to it below because hell yeah. If you're an awkward person and not very good at meeting people, go to shows by yourself and have a glass of whiskey. If you're of age. If you're not of age, just go to all ages shows and hang out with everybody else your age because that's awesome. I didn't get a chance really to do that for very long because I went to my first show when I was like 19. If you're a teenager and you have access to all ages venues in your city, take advantage of it. Take advantage of it because too many of them are closing down. The more you go to those shows at all ages venues, the more they will stay open. For the love of God. That was my little bit of knowledge for you there. Sharing things for the month of April. I will see you guys on Thursday. Bye.